What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916 getting down fresh out. I'm here with DJ Verrett, and we kicking around some game, chopping it up, sharing some prison stories and also some hood stories, and a lot of stuff that you guys hear in these rap songs and videos is straight bullshit, man. And I'm gonna get the real from somebody who's been in the real from day one. DJ,
what's up?
This LA gang culture stuff, man. How deep is it, man? I know just right now there's a lot of stuff going on with Indian Red. They said, the Nipsey Hussle disrespecting the mural and just, dudes coming out here, having to check in, thinking, oh, you can come out here if, and it's real,
Yes, it's deep rooted, man. It's generational.
I mean, so when you were growing up, was it already pretty much predetermined if you lived over in this part of town, you had to roll with this particular group of individuals? Or if you went to this high school, you were kind of pushed into this direction? I mean, how did that play, or could you pretty much be a neutral and navigate?
I'm the second generation, right, of that fraternity. You dig what I'm saying? I'm the second generation. When you look at it, back in the early 80s, cats was going to the pen and things like that, right? In the late 70s, early 80s. How it started in my neighborhood, people were in the pen. And when they were getting out, because remember, they were pop locking and breakdancing at this time. So a lot of neighborhoods in LA were pop lockers and breakers and lockers, like rerun from What's Happening.
Yeah.
So a lot of cats, like certain neighborhoods, they were like dancers, break dancers, pop lockers, and graffiti artists. You dig what I'm saying? So, in the pen, it was small. Then it started to grow. My neighborhood became Crips, but my cousin's neighborhood, they were Damus, So it's all depending where you grew up at and what high school you went to. So from where I'm from, it's like I'm like the second generation of that toxic legacy that these cats is talking about. The Nipsey Hussle thing, that man was loved. That man was loved. And to deface that is basically an act of terrorism. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's equivalent to that, and people ain't gonna stand for that,
Don't you feel that like there's a certain level of respect? Like a lot of youngsters don't even have no respect no more. It's like as far as just how the game is. I mean, we used to do stuff, man, but there was certain things like you kind of had like, okay, I'm like this person right here, he's done earned it. He's on some other level, so you just won't do certain things. You know what I mean? It's like, but now it doesn't matter. Like you said, you walked into a place and you mind your business, you OG, and somebody asked you where you from.
Yeah, there was in my generation there was a sense of hierarchy. You see what I'm saying? You only do certain stuff. See, when I was groomed by the big homeboys, if I'm gonna be a part of this lifestyle, there's rules that you gotta apply. You dig what I'm saying? So it's like, if you catch a case, ride your beef, right? Don't go robbing no damn liquor stores, no gas stations, snatching old ladies' purses. It sounds kind of crazy. We're all lawless and we're doing our thing, selling dope and gangbanging, but
there's ethics.
It was some kind of ethics. You dig what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna snatch your mama's purse. I'm not gonna do that. You're safe. If you're working in that liquor store, you're safe. If you're pushing a shopping cart or whatever, selling ice cream, because a lot of Spanish people, push these little ice cream carts. You don't rob them. They taking care of their family. You see what I'm saying? But sounds kind of crazy. I did rob people that did what I do. If you in the dope game, I'm gonna send a chick at you. She gonna tell me everything about you, and then we're gonna come get you, right? But yeah, today it's different, man. It's different code, different generation. I think it's on the down. I think it's deteriorating right now.
Well, and it also seems like to some degree, like before Nip died, you know, you had like Bloods and Crips coming together.
Yeah.
So dudes to get money, it's like, dude, we can get money together. And I remember before I even started messing around with the hood shit, and I was like, man, I want to be a dope dealer. And the dude, I knew he was a dope dealer at school because he always dressed fly. He's like, man, you don't want to be no dope dealer, Marcus. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? I want to sell dope, man. He said, man, you don't want to mess with that, man. And he said, you don't want to mess with them gangs either. And I'm like, what? You know, he's like, dude, for one, being a dope dealer, you're going to put yourself at risk. But if you're going to be a dope dealer, you want to sell dope to everybody. He said, see, I'm cool with everybody. I go everywhere. And this dude was fly. He was everywhere. He had the Troop, the Saucony, the sport, Lacoste Sportif. He had the Saucony, the Filas. I mean, this dude literally, I'd never seen him wear the same outfit to school twice. I mean, he'd have a Bill Cosby sweater on with some Dickies, with some fly hush puppies and like he was, you know, and it was. I know he's bald. I never seen him sell dope, but I know he was doing it. But he said, tell me, he's like, dude, you know, once you get into that lifestyle, it's like, you know, you put yourself into a whole nother circle. And I noticed, like, once I went from playing basketball, skateboarding, BMXing, and then started kind of like attaching myself to a certain thing, I became a target. And now it's like when I go to the mall, I go certain places, it's like I brought this negative energy.
You know, that's part of the lifestyle. You know, when you get that dollar, you know, start making a few bucks and start getting a little respect and start getting recognized for some achievements. You dig what I'm saying?
Street accolades.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, you got that going, and it feeds your ego. There's no doubt about it, and can't nobody say no, because it fed my ego, and that's what I was equated with. You know, the homie Ghost. You know, getting that paper. You know, getting recognized by everybody. But I don't want to get recognized by the police. But you know, in my community, things like that. You dig what I'm saying? So, how can you turn that down if you're working at Taco Bell making $3.35 an hour, and we're the same age, and I'll pull up in a rag top something. We the same age, and say, let me show you how to get this. That $335 you're getting per hour, how about let's get that $335, $100 per hour. Let me show you how to get $3,000 in one day. Let me show you how to get this right here. Let me mentor you through this. And that's what happened to me. So from there, I gave my life, my will to take care of the hood, of the street, of the game.
And that story you just said right there, it's funny, but it's not funny. My homie was telling me when he tried to go legit, he got a job. They were hiring at AT&T, but he had his pager, and his pager kept going off. And he's like, damn, he kept looking at his pager. He trying to work at the keyboard, and after like about an hour, he's like, man, you know, F this job, man. I gotta get this paper. I'm missing money.
Yeah.
And just that quick, he was there maybe 3 days, trying to, you know, get a job at, you know, legit job at AT&T, man. And the game, man, like you said, once you got the taste of it, man, it's like a sense of power. I mean, you know, going to the mall, I know out here they had a swap meet. You go to swap meet and dudes is like, you know, when you were part of that clique, you felt like, you know, we almost like superheroes.
Man, you're hood famous. Hood famous. You know how much power you got? How much power you can have? How much influence? Everywhere you go, they're like, that's him. There go Herc, there go Ghost. What's up, y'all? Fuck, man, you can't, you know, without no guidance, man, you're gonna give your life and your will to the care of this hustle. Now, the part about that is that I didn't know the ugly side of the lifestyle. But I didn't plan on being 25 years old, let alone 50.
Now, during all that, Ghost, were you still able to go to school and get your, you know, get your grades and stuff? Because I was a 4.0 student, so I was in chemistry class, or I'd be in Spanish class, and homies would be in the hallway like, you know what I mean? I'm like, dude, I got to finish this work first.
I graduated. I left. Excuse me, I left. School was in the way. I'm missing that money because I did have a Sky pager back in the day. I remember I was in math class, and I came late, just a little bit late, and my teacher's name was Mr. Avery. He was like, "You late? What's going on?" I'm like, man, because his class you couldn't be late, right? So So my bad, Mr. Avery. He was like, you got a pencil? I'm like, no. He said, my pencils cost 10 cents. And I pulled out $1,000 and said, I ain't got no small bills. He looked at me. The class looked at me. All the females looked at me.
Females was like,
I'm hitting that one, I'm hitting you, and I'm hitting you then tomorrow, and you two, I'm hitting all you guys. All these females, I got you now.
Yeah.
And he looked at me after class, after class, he was like, stay for a second. He was like, there's another way. I'm like, your reality and my reality is different, Mr. Avery. That was the last time I went to school.
Damn.
That's real talk.
Wow, man.
I said, your reality and my reality is different. I threw up the deuces. I didn't go back to school until I was 38 years old.
Wow.
I graduated high school at 38. When I got out, I went back to school and graduated with a 3.38.
Wow.
I'm a smart dummy.
I'm telling you, man, that's some powerful shit, man. The lure of the game, man, it's like there's so many different things that pull you in different directions. It's like, but being able to see perception, and like you said, now you're at 50 years and looking back, and I'm 48 and looking back, and I'm thinking like, damn, if I knew this shit when I was 18 or 16, man, or had that right mentor, because I didn't find my first mentor until I got to the pen. An OG from South Central, 20 years my senior. This dude, he wore his pants up high, buttoned his shirt all the way up. He was a square beast from the hood. Knew everybody. He was making, $200,000 a month when he was on the street. And he kind of taught me a lot about what it was to be a black man and to have some sense of self and how to have almost like an older brother / father figure. But I'm like, when I was growing up, all the dudes I looked up to, they at the park, they selling dope, or they ex-penitentiary, they on swole and they drinking 40, they slapping dominoes and they hustling and I want to be that dude with the curl bumping the Isley Brothers and the Cutlass on D's, or the dude who had all the girls and stuff, man. And one of the reasons why I do this, and I want to bring people like you to this platform, is so you can talk about your experience, so other kids maybe listening to you will think twice and be like, man, maybe this is a turning point in my life before it's too late. I wish I would have stuck with school and been more focused. And went to college and actually took it serious, because I went, but I didn't take it serious at the time. So that's why I think coming from your mouth and how you project your story, it's going to hit different people, and they can see that and be like, wow, this guy, he's really from where I grew up at or where I'm living at, and I can relate to him.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, man. That 20 years they gave me, dog, for real, I'm grateful for that experience. I was strong enough to do that, and it sounds crazy. Who grateful for a 20-year prison sentence? Because it gave me time to reflect on everything that was prior to that. But the influence that we can have. Now, I'm not here to save nobody. I'm here just to, tell you my journey. You dig what I'm saying? That's real.
You can't say nobody don't want to be saved.
I can't say nobody, I didn't want to be saved, but the reality of the reason why I got into and evolved so quickly into that lifestyle, because I did have a certain mindset, for one, and I didn't like seeing my family struggle. You dig what I'm saying? Mom raising me, 2 children, 2 sisters. You dig what I'm saying? Don't worry about me, I got this. Because you made me a man of the house at a very young age. You see what I'm saying? So being a man of the house, being a boy, being a man of the house at a young age, I figured like, let me provide by taking away from your family. It makes sense? So I'm gonna provide for my family. I'm gonna buy my mama her first car. I'm gonna move her out these projects, but I'm gonna make sure your family don't, by selling this shit.
Yeah. And
that's why I got, it's kind of, when we go back to like St. Louis, the way it looks now, it wasn't like that. So it's that power of influence going back and saying, yeah, it was okay. I was strong enough to do that 20 years. And, but my life experiences, Big Hurt, and your platform, I can just tell it. And if you relate to it, you relate to it. But it ain't got to walk that path I walk.
That's right. That's
Because
right.
a lot of us fallen. A lot of us have fallen.
Yeah.
You dig? So, my little 2 cents on that.
Hey, there you guys have it, man. Another perspective to life on the streets and gang life, man, gang culture. It's real, and just keep your options open. That's all I can say. Big Herc 916, DJ Verrett, fresh out.